Hello, everyone, and happy Tuesday. Welcome to today's segment of Green Chat. I am Stephanie Gluchacki of Cannadocs, and I'm joined here today by Maggie Fover. Maggie, say hello to our audience.
Hi, everyone. How you doing today?
I hope everyone had a great weekend. Maggie, I don't know about you, but this weekend, I know we had the 4th of July. It was normally a really just festive time, and this weekend just seemed very different than years past. Was it the same for you? Did you find that as well?
I found it to be a day of reflection to really think about what I'm appreciative for and our independence. While we can't move around as freely, we still are free. So I'm very thankful for that still on the 4th.
That's a great outlook, Maggie. Definitely, I appreciate that. I know I myself, the first week of July was always just really exciting. You look forward to fireworks, and there were definitely fireworks, albeit not necessarily the most legal in nature, but there were definitely a lot of fireworks happening around us. My dog certainly didn't appreciate that, but
Nor did my
nonetheless,
cat.
nonetheless, however you chose to celebrate, whether it was to just kind of stay close to home and, as Maggie said, really reflect upon the meaning behind Independence Day, or if you did have and celebrate in some very small celebrations, I hope it was just a really fun time for everyone, and everyone had a chance to really just relax and hopefully unwind from a little bit of the stressors over the last few months. So, we are coming to you live today from our Cannadocs Virginia page, and we are thrilled to be entering the state of Virginia to be able to offer our certification and education services. Now, for those of us who are tuning in from other states where we have operated, we have been, Cannadocs has been in existence since 2013, and we are proud to be the nation's largest multi-state medical cannabis and evaluation center in the United States. So we hope that as you're joining us here today, you'll listen to the services that Cannadocs can offer to you as a current patient within the Commonwealth of Virginia, or if you're looking to become a patient of the Virginia Medical Cannabis Program. We hope that Maggie and I will provide you with enough information to make an informed choice, and even more so, give you resources to further look into how to take that initial step toward achieving your healthcare goals through cannabis therapies. So, Maggie, I don't mean to do all the talking here. You have been with the organization for, gosh, a long time with me as well, and I'd love for you to share with our audience a little bit about your history with the company.
Oh, yeah, fantastic. I've been blessed to be with the company since 2015, trying to bring medical cannabis into the Mid-Atlantic region. When I got started here, there really wasn't much around for patients to get information about or to even be approved into any of the state's programs. So we've definitely come a long way since 2015. Throughout that time, I've been very passionate about educating patients, providers, and people making policy decisions. It's really important for the people who are making these decisions to be really fully aware of what medical cannabis is and what medical cannabis isn't. And to have a well-versed education on it and understand the science behind it. It's been amazing to see the expansion of all of the different programs in the different states and to see the knowledge base of patients really tremendously increase in these years. It's been a fantastic journey. I am thrilled to be on it.
And we're certainly thrilled to have you an important part of the team as well. And reflecting upon the relationships that you've built over the years, those relationships certainly are key. And that's why we're hoping to come to you today to help bring you informed information that will allow you to make the choices that suit your needs, and can help point you in the right direction on your healthcare goals. So, to our people in Virginia here, we hope that you're aware of the fact that Virginia does have a medical cannabis program. On March 21st of last year, the Governor Northam approved Senate Bill 1557, which is the latest in an ongoing series of marijuana usage protections for medical patients. So before we get into the actualities of the administrative aspects of how to actually become a cannabis patient within Virginia, we'd like to talk a little bit about our Cannadocs services and how that really is the first step in really entering the state's program. So, as part of the program, a written certification is required by a licensed physician in the state. And that's exactly what we do. Here at CannaCareDocs, we provide you with access to licensed physicians, and these physicians have been trained on cannabis therapies, and they're very educated in how to help you manage your healthcare goals through the use of cannabinoid therapy. So, how do you start? How do you start that journey to becoming a patient? Well, the first step is to visit www.cannacaredocs.com. Check out our website. Look at who we are, what we do. You can take a peek at the other states that we've been operating in for many, many years, again, since 2013. So we feel very confident that we have a lot of expertise in this subject matter. And again, like Maggie, there are many people behind the scenes working to ensure that we understand the regulations in your state. We understand the cannabis as a science, as a medicine, and all of those factors combined allow us to bring you a level of service that is really just uncomparable. So we're really excited to be a part of your journey here in Virginia. So again, cannacaredocs.com, your cost for the certification and the education would be $150. And once you get to the cannacaredocs.com website, you can click book an appointment. It's at the top right in green, of course, and you'll select Virginia, telemedicine in Virginia. So right now you actually don't even need to leave your home. That's so super, not only convenient, but it's safe and it's compliant. So we're able to help guide you to this entry into the program right from the comfort and the safety of your own home. So after you've clicked that book an appointment button, you can simply choose a day and a time that works best for you. So if you know you have some free time, that you have a little bit of privacy or some quiet time in your home, then select that day and time, and we'll go ahead and contact you prior to your appointment, and we'll walk you through the process. So there's some administrative things you might be wondering, do I even qualify? All of these questions that you might have, we can answer for you. And even prior to being contacted by us, we have a great centralized contact center with a number of very educated agents who can help answer some of these preliminary questions you may have. So that number, 866-846-2420. If you have questions, do I even qualify, or do I possibly qualify? So Maggie, I'm sure you'll agree, my next statement is just really, from a patient perspective, it's absolutely just so encouraging. Virginia has an open-ended qualifications list. Well, what does that mean? So if you're familiar with any other state's programs, you see that there's a very specific list of conditions, and unless you have and have been diagnosed with one of those conditions, you're not eligible for the program. So with Virginia, the legislation leaves it in the hands of your healthcare practitioner, the one that of course we are linking you to decide whether or not you should receive medical marijuana treatments. So the only preface is that THCA or CBD must be used to alleviate the symptoms of a diagnosed disease or condition. So we feel that the Virginia medical marijuana laws offer a very broad acceptance policy. So again, if you're kind of wondering, do I qualify? Do I possibly fit into this program? There's a likelihood that if a conversation with the clinician that we're connecting you with, you can demonstrate that the specific diagnosis can benefit from cannabinoid therapy, then there's a very strong likelihood of entrance into the program. But again, that's a decision that our licensed clinicians would make. So, Maggie, certainly there's a lot of administrative stuff, if you will, that happens. So let's say a patient now, they've gone through the process, they've connected, they've booked the appointment, they've had their appointment, they met with the practitioner, and the practitioner feels that they in fact qualify into the program. What happens next?
I would like to second your opinion about how important it is for physicians to be able to decide what conditions are going to be helpful for patients, because it really does increase the relationship between a physician and a patient when they are the one deciding how to
Right.
ultimately help the patient. So once our physician has made that determination, then it's up for the patient to register with the Board of Pharmacy in Virginia. We definitely provide the links and make sure that you're very comfortable with the process. We'll hold your hand the entire way through it because we want to make sure that patients are helped as efficiently as possible. But basically, the steps to it are going to involve providing proof of your identity. So this can be through an identification card, such as a driver's license or a state issued ID. A valid passport issued by the United States government is also a form of identification that can be used. So once that's established, then you also must prove your proof of residency in Virginia. That's a simple document that you would receive, through the mail and be able to provide to show that that actually is your address. And then, as we discussed, the patient must be diagnosed with a condition or a disease that the practitioner has decided that CBD or THCA could alleviate some of the symptoms for. And then you're going to receive that recommendation from that physician after they've made that
Okay.
determination. And our physician will then advise you that you should register with the Department of Health Professions. This is what establishes your actual certification through the state.
Okay.
There is a $50 fee for this, and it needs to be renewed annually. There will be an additional $50 for the renewal of that as well. In the case of a minor patient, when they're registering, we also need the legal parent or guardian to also register as well
Okay.
for the program. So that's an important aspect when you're registering a minor. And the Board of Pharmacy is usually taking about 7 to 10 business days to
Okay.
process these applications. Once they're processed, then they're going to issue you a registration card that's mailed out to the address that's provided on the application. So it's a pretty straightforward process that they have to becoming a patient.
And you mentioned we help you through this process. So if this sounds at all daunting to you, rest assured, we have a plethora of experience in multiple states walking patients through the administrative tasks associated with the actual registration. So, Maggie, you want to say there's two parts. So there's the part that a patient goes through with cannadocs, where they meet with a licensed practitioner and the practitioner certifies them as a qualifying patient. And then, if you will, part two, where there's that administrative portion of actually registering with the state, correct?
Correct. Yes, and you are right. Our caring professionals definitely make sure that patients are helped through this process. We want to make it uncomplicated and easy to join the program.
Absolutely. And again, that's a little different than, walking into a pharmacy with just a prescription in hand, much like with traditional pharmaceuticals and whatnot. So there are a little bit more steps involved, which is why certainly we will walk a patient through and really help guide you through each and every step to ensure that you're able to compliantly access medicine. So I guess that's a great segue to my next question, Maggie, and that's, where would a patient then get their medication from?
So, excellent question. Currently, Virginia has 5 medical marijuana dispensaries. There's one allocated for each health service area in the state. These facilities, they're referred to as pharmaceutical processors. So when you look online, that's the verbiage that you'll see.
Okay.
They are state run dispensaries. The cannabis is grown, processed, and dispensed from these same agencies. It's worth noting that recently, as of July 1st, these processors and these pharmaceutical processors are going to be allowed to establish additional dispensaries in their service area to really help patients. So the law has really progressed in Virginia, and it's far more patient friendly. It's really exceptional, the progress that's being made.
That is
So
excellent.
there are several phenomenal companies around that are going to be the pharmaceutical processors helping patients. In Portsmouth, we have Columbia Care. They're helping patients. In Manassas, there's Beyond Hello. They're going to be servicing patients in that area. In Bristol, we have Dharma Pharmaceuticals. They will be the ones helping patients in that area of the state. And in the Richmond area, we have Greenleaf pharmaceutical processors assisting patients. So it's very nice to note that there are going to be availabilities throughout the state for patients, and very nice and convenient.
That is great because access is important, certainly. If you're trying to secure and procure safe, tested medicine, it's really important to be able to, regardless of where you live in the state, have access to a geographically convenient pharmaceutical processor. So well done, Virginia. Um,
Truly.
so a question patients often ask, and this has to do with the legalization, because of course at the federal level cannabis is not legal yet, but at the state level, did Virginia legalize medical cannabis?
So July has definitely been an exciting month in Virginia. On July 1st, possession of authorized medical cannabis for those that are registered to participate in the program are explicitly legal now, and they have explicit legal protection, whereas before it was only the affirmative defense that a patient could assert. So they would actually have an involvement with law enforcement before they had the ability to prove that they were a patient and this was a medical necessity. So Virginia has made amazing improvements for patients and really taken that obstacle out of patients' way and made this a legal program for them. It's extremely exciting month for sure.
Definitely exciting and exceptional to note that Virginia is really taking a very patient-centric approach to the program. Um, Oh, okay. Again, patients ask many questions. There's certainly, when this cannabis program is new to a state, there's always a plethora of questions. One of the more commonly asked questions is this only for oils? What exactly does this mean as far as medicine is concerned?
Again, there has been so much progress in the state. So Senate Bill 1557 clarifies that any formulation may be dispensed. So this means that the processors are really able to make a plethora of products available for patient. I would expect patients from these pharmaceutical processors to be able to receive preparations like capsules, oral sprays, definitely tinctures. Uh, Oils would definitely be something that's going to be available.
Mm-hmm.
But there's going to be creams, which would be, topical preparations, most likely gels. They could have lozengers. Patches would definitely be something that patients would be interested in. Troches are a form of medicine that's able to be processed by these pharmaceutical processors. Suppositories can be an amazing form of medicine for patients. They might be able to do things like lollipops or other oral preparations such as that. Inhalation devices. There's been things, such as like asthma type, dispensing containers. So there's definitely going to be a plethora of products available, and it'll really be able to address the different needs that different patients have, because not any one type of preparation is going to be the right fit for all patients. So they should have a great variety.
That's a great point because various ailments, diseases, and debilitating conditions might have different needs from an ingestion standpoint. So, the availability of these multiple ingestion methods and preparations is so critical and so important to know, so that a patient can really tailor their therapy based on their personal needs and their personal healthcare goals. So, again, congrats to Virginia for really citing this as an opportunity to address cannabis from a truly medical standpoint. Maggie, question: is it only CBD or low THC preparations?
We are really going to talk about a lot of improvements and a lot of advancements today. So when the law originated, yes, it was going to only be CBD products and maybe a small amount of THCA in these products. At this point, the legislation definitely has come a long way. They've definitely, obviously, taken on more education and understanding of how cannabis works as a medication and what patients might need. So now it's been designed that the products may contain up to 10 milligrams of THC per dose. Now, what a dose means is a single unit. Such as like a dose of aspirin would be one tablet of aspirin. So a dosage of cannabis might be one dropper full of medication. So the dosage is the total amount taken each time. So maybe you would take, 2 droplets 4 times a day. So a physician can really recommend you establishing your own dosage and helping to figure out what is the amount that you're specifically going to need. So you will be able to, get the products in the right preparations and the right dosages that you're needing, because there are no limits on dosage. So again, the physicians are able to really help patients. So it's really nice that the physicians that are working with cannadocs are going to be able to really, really help patients through their dosage requirements.
Absolutely agreed. And that's a great point, Maggie, because in some other states, there aren't dosing formulations. And in other states, often flower is an acceptable form of purchase at a dispensary. So patients oftentimes have a difficult time finding a specific either a strain or a specific type of ingestion method that works best for them. It seems to be more of a truly self-titration, trial and error type approach. So the Virginia approach seems to be more targeted in helping patients really identify in a very specific format what works best for them. And in our education sessions with patients, we often really recommend that patients keep a diary or a journal to really help identify what seems to work best for you. Your purchase and then the effects, and then that way you can track and monitor the specific formulations that are working, and then the formulations that perhaps didn't have the desired effect that you were looking for. So in Virginia, Maggie, is flower allowed?
Currently, flour is not going to be sold by any of the pharmaceutical processors. There is some movement within legislation about changing that, but currently, flour is not allowed. And as you discussed, it really does allow providers right now to really be able to tailor the products for patients, because they are all labeled, and you really do know exactly how many milligrams are in a product, as opposed to when you might be, combusting a flower. It leaves a little bit more unknowns. So it's definitely going to be helpful for patients to journal and drill in on which products they're trying that are working. It's always, interesting for each individual person to really fine tune what products they know that they can go to and
Right.
get the relief that they're searching for.
Absolutely true. And cannabis is such a wonderful medicine. The benefits certainly are there, and I know that Maggie, in your history with cannadocs and my history with cannadocs, we've heard patient testimonials over and over and over again. We've heard of patients who had been on opioid programs and have been able to wean themselves with a physician, wean themselves off of the opioids and switch to a more natural cannabinoid therapy to manage things like pain or various other ailments that they may be facing in their current lives. So having experienced that and actually witnessed it firsthand with patients direct, one-on-one, it's just really, really just so positive and exciting to see the benefits that cannabis medicine really can do for a patient and really help them in achieving their healthcare goals. Maggie, I know we've got about 6 minutes left, and I wanted to share. Do you have any specific patient stories that you'd like to share of one of these positive experiences?
There are so many to choose from, it would be hard to even select one.
Sure, sure.
Um, I would say probably some of the most impressive things I see, though, are people who are wasting away from cancer therapies. They're using all of these chemotherapies and they can't eat anymore.
Right.
They have no desire to eat any food. Everything tastes horrible because it really changes the way your palate perceives food. And sometimes it's not even actually the cancer that seems to be killing the person anymore. It's the wasting, the strong former 220-pound man now weighing 130 pounds.
Right.
I've seen that so many times, but it's been really refreshing to see on the other side that 220-pound man come back in 2 years later. I'm thinking of one specifically, but we're not going to mention any names. Not very much in life feels better than being able to give someone their quality of life back. And I know the providers at CannaCare, they've expressed to me so many times how grateful they feel to be able to help people off of this narcotic epidemic that we've been facing. They've
Sure.
seen marked decreases, and it really makes them feel really good about what they do every day.
Absolutely, so true. And you hit you hit home with the comment about patients with suffering from cancer and chemotherapy. So that really is something that strikes a personal chord with me because I wished with my own mother the cannabis program had been in effect for me to be able to see her and offer some palliative assistance and guidance toward the end of her life. So cannabis certainly has preventative features and benefits. It has curative features and benefits, and in some cases, we are looking at palliative measures where we're truly offering dignity and some comfort in an end of life situation. So there are many reasons why a patient or a possible patient might turn to cannabis as a therapy, and we are very, very proud to say that our providers and our staff are very, very educated and well read on the subject, and there's always more to learn. And if there's nothing else that we can all agree on is that there's always new breakthroughs in science and in medicine where cannabis therapies are concerned. So what we might know is as today might change and evolve over the coming months or years. So we're really excited to continue to learn more about cannabis as therapies. So again, in closing, Maggie, any final thoughts or words you'd like to share with our friends in Virginia?
Yeah, I would like to share how excited I am to be able to finally really help the patients of Virginia. I've connected with so many of you so many times, and I'm really excited about this day. So I can't wait to help you.
Fantastic. So again, visit our website www.cannacaredocs.com, and Katie and we'll go ahead and populate that in the comments section so you can access that fairly quickly and easily. If you'd like to speak to one of our agents, have a direct question, not quite sure the website doesn't necessarily address what it is you're looking to have answered, please feel free to call our contact center at 866-846-2420. We're happy to answer your questions and provide you with answers that can help start you on your cannabis journey. So, 30 minutes sure goes by very quickly. Maggie, thank you so much for joining me today. You are just a wealth of information, and I know you're going to do great things in the state of Virginia and for the patients in the state of Virginia. So, really excited that you're leading that charge there. I'd like to thank CB2 Insights, the parent company to CannaCare Docs. Of course, without CB2 Insights and the collaborative efforts there, none of this would be possible. Thank you to Jean St. Pierre and, of course, Eric B. Media, who provided this wonderful, wonderful studio. You can visit Eric's webpage at www.ericbmedia.com. And lastly, and probably most importantly, we'd like to thank you as current patients in Virginia, you who are considering becoming patients in Virginia. We certainly hope that Maggie and I have provided you with some information today that will help guide you toward making a choice to become a cannabis patient in the state. And we also hope that we've provided you with some information and some resources to help further that decision. So without further ado, I want to say thank you to you. We certainly look forward to helping you through your cannabis journey. Maggie, thank you so much, and thank you everyone. Bye-bye and have a great day. Stay safe.
Have a great day, everyone.